1915. Got one running. Northbound. Northbound.
Put your hands behind your back.
Have you ever seen a police baton turned into an instrument of torture? Imagine witnessing officers brutally beat a college student, then pour burning water on his face as he lay defenseless. In today's Audit Archive, a simple trespassing call escalated into a vicious assault that left a young man concussed. This case demonstrates shocking police brutality, and you won't believe how it ends. On April 4th, 2022, Patrick Lyoya, a 26-year-old black man, was pulled over in Grand Rapids, Michigan for what police described as an improper registration. Mr. Lyoya was sitting in the driver's seat when a police officer from the Grand Rapids Police Department approached him.
Dude, I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a license?
For what?
I'm stopping you. Do you have a license?
What that do?
Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
What that is wrong?
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at?
It's in the car.
Get it for me.
What that is wrong?
The plate does not belong on this car.
Amen. Grab me my lighter right there. Right there.
No. Stop.
The footage begins with Officer Christopher Schur walking toward Mr. Lyoya's car. Mr. Lyoya, seemingly confused, stepped out of the vehicle. The officer explained he was conducting a traffic stop and asked about his license. The man answered that it was inside the car. He then briefly opened the driver's door to speak to a passenger, but closed it without taking his driver's license out.
Hands right. Stop. 1915. Got one running. Northbound. Stop.
The moment marked the beginning of a tense encounter. Officer Schur grabbed Mr. Lyoya by the shoulder and back, trying to restrain him physically. Mr. Lyoya resisted, pulling away and running a short distance. Schur gave chase and tackled him to the ground. Physical restraint at this point was unnecessary, while verbal de-escalation could have been more effective.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop resisting.
No, he good. He not resisting nothing, bro.
Get the key. What do you do to him? To you?
Let go of the taser.
As the struggle unfolded, the officer drew his taser and attempted to use it twice, but neither attempt was successful as the prongs failed to make contact. It is important to note that the officer's body camera was deactivated during the struggle. According to the police chief, body cameras require a button to be pressed for 3 seconds to shut off, and the chief speculated that the camera was accidentally turned off during the physical altercation. However, regardless of intent, the deactivation of the body camera during the struggle is concerning.
Like he good, bro. Like, can you talk to him like good? Like, can you? Yeah. Stop grabbing him like that.
No.
Nah, he good like for real. Yo, you hit him too. Hit that shit, bro.
Let go of the taser.
No, he ain't got no taser. I see that.
Let go of the taser.
How many cars you got going?
Drop taser.
Everyone.
Another angle captured by a home surveillance camera shows the continuation of the fight. For roughly 90 seconds, Mr. Lyoya and the officer wrestled on a residential lawn. with the officer maintaining his hold on him. The footage shows the officer pulling his firearm and fatally shooting the man in the head. This critical moment is also captured in a cell phone video taken by a bystander. The excessive use of force by the officer raises significant legal and ethical questions. Despite having no clear evidence of Mr. Loyola being armed or presenting a threat, the officer resorted to deadly force. Michigan law requires officers to have reasonable suspicion of illegal activity to escalate an interaction. In this case, the officer acted on the assumption that Mr. Loyola might have been under the influence or attempting to evade arrest, but no concrete evidence supports this claim. The officer's actions have violated both legal standards and Mr. Loyola's Fourth Amendment right to be free from excessive force. Mr. Loyola's family, who immigrated to the United States from the Democratic Republic of Congo in 2014, was devastated by his death. His father, upon viewing the video of the shooting, was filled with grief. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who is representing the family, has criticized the officer's actions, stating that Mr. Loyola posed no immediate threat and was unarmed. Protests erupted in Grand Rapids following the release of the footage, with demonstrators demanding justice and accountability. The medical examiner confirmed that Mr. Loyola died from a gunshot wound to the head. The family was also given the option of seeking an independent autopsy. Despite the justification provided by law enforcement, Mr. Loyola's tragic death highlights the pressing need for improved police training and accountability. 2 months after the fatal shooting, the Grand Rapids Police Department fired Officer Schur. Mr. Loyola's family filed a federal lawsuit of $100 million against the officer and Grand Rapids Police Department. The systemic challenges evident in Mr. Loyola's case are not isolated, as another incident, this time involving David Cardona, reveals similar patterns of alleged misconduct and violations of civil rights. On the 9th of February 2020, David Cardona, a 27-year-old electrician, believed he would be allowed to leave after being pulled over by Pasadena police officers. They told him he had passed their field sobriety tests and returned his driver's license. However, the situation took a sudden turn when they requested him to take a breath test.
Yeah, no, like... Oh. Hold on for me, right? Before. Nah, he's good. I only got 2 pills on the HGN. And then,
Yeah, I figured he was going to be kind of...
yeah.
So he seems pretty clear-eyed and everything.
Yeah, and he has good balance and stuff like that. I had the worst balance on the one leg stand. I was like, I know, man, I know. But nah, he's...
I had him standing here for a minute. I thought I had a sway, but even when I was waiting for I had him just stand there with his feet together. He stood like that for a long time without it. So.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a good one at first, but then I had trouble seeing on that on the maximum deviation. I'm like, yeah, nah, I don't see that one. He just had the lack of smooth pursuit.
Good enough.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Yeah.
The following footage provides a detailed account of what happened next. During the traffic stop, Mr. Cardona willingly underwent a comprehensive set of standardized field sobriety tests, which he completed without any signs of intoxication or impairment. The officers initially prepared to release him, even returning his license and informing him that he could go home.
He didn't want to do it. Let's put him in jail. We'll get a breath.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, all this is helping him. You're going to be going home.
Okay, I'm going home right now. Wait. Well,
Not until he releases you, he's not. You're not.
but what's the test for?
To see where he is if he's doing the right thing.
Correct.
That's all it
Doing
is.
the right thing. Look.
Can I make a phone call?
However, a senior officer who had not been involved in administering the field tests insisted on conducting a breath test, despite the lack of evidence suggesting Mr. Cardona was intoxicated.
I'm not going to jail. What am I going to jail for?
Well,
Can you tell my charges?
Hold on. He's coming. Hold on. Relax, all right? Don't make
Hey,
this
go to my
worse.
contact, go to Mike. That's my lawyer.
Let me double lock you before, and let me pat you down before I put you in this car, all right?
When Mr. David began to ask the purpose of the breath test and requested to make a phone call, the senior officer, Mark Ferguson, instructed the others to arrest him. The arrest violated Mr. Cardona's Fourth Amendment rights, which protect against unreasonable searches and seizures. The officers had no probable cause to detain or arrest him after he passed the field sobriety tests and showed no signs of impairment. Mr. Cardona's blood test, conducted about 3 hours after his arrest, showed a blood alcohol content that was below the legal limit. This suggests he was not intoxicated at the time of the traffic stop. Despite this, Mr. Cardona was forced to endure 2 days in jail and months under restrictive pretrial conditions. His legal battles cost him thousands of dollars in attorney fees. The conduct of the officers also violated the U.S. Code of 1983, which holds individuals accountable for depriving constitutional rights under the color of law. 2 years after the stop, Mr. Cardona filed a lawsuit against the officers, suggesting that they manipulated the details of the traffic stop to justify Mr. Cardona's arrest in the police report. They made misleading statements to judges and prosecutors. This violates the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause, as fabricating evidence undermines an individual's right to a fair and impartial legal process. Pasadena Police Chief Joshua Brugger acknowledged that the department's internal investigation found that the officers had violated policies. However, rather than facing suspension, demotion, or termination, the officers were only required to undergo retraining. Legal experts and veteran defense attorneys see this case as emblematic of a more significant issue. They point out that it's not uncommon for police reports and affidavits to misrepresent facts significantly when those facts could weaken the officer's narrative. As troubling as David Cardona's case is, it is not the only example of law enforcement failing to uphold constitutional and human rights. Another incident involving Jennifer Gaiman further underscores issues within policing, particularly concerning vulnerable individuals. In November of 2018, a disabled woman, Jennifer Gaiman, who suffered from a degenerative eye disease and pulmonary disease, had a tense interaction with the police, which escalated into her arrest. The police alleged that she rode her scooter on a sidewalk, through a crosswalk, and failed to wear a helmet. These minor violations sparked a disagreement in which Ms. Gaiman consistently emphasized her rights as a person with a disability. The dialogue and actions suggest the officers detained her for reasons not entirely clear, raising concerns about how her disability and rights were handled during the encounter.
Inside the house, can you let him know I'm getting arrested, please?
Here. I got you. Hold on.
You don't have to hold on to me.
Go and read that.
No, I'm not. I wanted to bring this home. I'm not going to leave it out in the streets so somebody can steal it.
I'm
I wanted to go home.
I'm going to read something to you.
He's reading something to you.
I don't want
You
to
have the
hear it.
right to remain silent.
Yeah, I know.
Anything you say can will be used against you in court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements.
The interaction began with the woman expressing concern for her son, who was inside the house, and requesting the officers notify him about what was happening. Her tone reflected distress and vulnerability, while the officers maintained a procedural approach, reading her rights as part of the arrest.
It's my pipe. My legal marijuana pipe.
Why would you?
I didn't throw it. It was open. My bag was opened.
Okay.
You can look at it. It's opened.
I'm fine. I think he actually zipped it up so it wouldn't lose a bunch of your stuff.
I did.
The woman appeared mainly focused on ensuring her personal belongings were handled correctly. When she attempted to address these concerns, the officers responded with visible impatience, contributing to the tension between them.
Can you please go tell my son?
How old's your son?
He's 16 years old.
Okay. Does he have another adult here with him?
No.
No? Okay. Well, we'll try to make contact with him.
She repeatedly emphasized the importance of notifying her 16-year-old son, who was alone inside the house. While the officers eventually fulfilled her request, there was a noticeable delay, highlighting a lack of immediate attention to her parental concerns.
Do you want us to pull your garage down? Do you want your garage pulled down?
During the interaction, the woman requested that the officers close her garage door to secure her scooter. While they complied with her request, Their tone reflected a neutral or detached attitude, rather than understanding or empathy.
At the request of the 1241, her 16-year-old son's been made aware of the situation. I've also lowered her garage door at her request.
Miss Gaiman was taken to the police station. The interaction concluded with the officers reporting that they had notified the son and secured the scooter per the woman's request. The officers' actions during this encounter raised significant concerns regarding compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Under Section 35.137 of the Americans with Disabilities Act, wheelchairs are permitted in any public space where individuals with mobility impairments may need access. Additionally, it recognizes mobility scooters as a type of wheelchair. The Act requires accommodations for individuals with disabilities and ensures their equitable treatment in public interactions. In this case, it is unclear whether the officers accounted for the woman's disability in their approach. If the arrest was linked to her use of a mobility device, this indicates a misunderstanding or misapplication of laws meant to protect disabled individuals. The circumstances surrounding her arrest, particularly the handling of her personal belongings, raised questions about whether the officers acted proportionately. The officers failed to de-escalate the situation and address the woman's concerns in a way that could have prevented unnecessary conflict. Their handling of her disability suggests a lack of training or awareness of how to interact with individuals requiring accommodations under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Miss Gaiman filed a lawsuit of $500,000 against the Brookings police, which suggests that she was pulled over illegally by the officers. Moreover, she was unlawfully cited and chased by the officers while riding her mobility scooter towards her home. The Brookings City agreed to pay her $300,000 for the damages. It also agreed to issue her a public apology and give the officers American with Disabilities Act training. More than 2.5 years after the arrest, the Oregon Court of Appeal overturned her conviction with a June 9th ruling. As per the ruling, a person must be riding a motor vehicle to be charged with eluding a police officer. While Gaiman's case offers a perspective on the intersection of disability and law enforcement, the arrest of Michael Roquet demonstrates the risks of excessive force when handling individuals under the influence. In June of 2015, former Athens-Clarke County police officer Jonathan Frazier was caught assaulting a University of Georgia student, Michael Roquet, following the release of body cam footage. The incident happened at Marriott Courtyard, Athens, downtown, when police responded to reports of an intoxicated student allegedly trespassing on the property. The following footage showcases the initial interaction between Officer Frazier and Mr. Roquet.
I've been out here for 2 or 3 years. I'm not trying to start any problems.
Okay, this is a hotel.
Yes, I realize that.
Okay.
We come here every year. We come out here.
Okay. Do you have a room key?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, let's say you're not a guest here, so you're going to have to leave.
I mean, that's fine, but I've been out here for probably 5 or 6 years, so...
Okay, well, tonight you're not a guest. So...
The footage begins with Mr. Roquet repeatedly claiming that he has stayed in the hotel in the past. He appears to attempt to engage in conversation, but his intoxication impairs his ability to articulate himself clearly. On the other hand, Frazier grows increasingly impatient, repeatedly telling Mr. Roquet to leave by saying, "You are not a guest here tonight."
Okay, well, let's go.
I realize that, but I don't know, for me, when it's one of these places that I've lived at and worked at for years...
You can't just hang out here, just because you've stayed here before.
No, I realize that, but when these people are living here because I worked here, I mean, I don't understand their concept.
They don't want you hanging out here.
I mean, I get that, but I've worked here and I've been a member of this specific place longer than they have.
That doesn't mean you can stay here tonight.
The situation continues with officers responding to a trespassing complaint involving Mr. Roquet, who appeared confused and uncooperative. Mr. Roquet makes disjointed and erratic remarks throughout the conversation, likely influenced by intoxication. He continues to linger despite being asked to leave multiple times, further agitating the situation.
No! Stop! Behind the frat house, I sprayed him. Now he's leaving me. Sir! Come here. Turn around. You're under arrest.
I'm trying to talk to you. You're gonna hit me.
Stop! You're under arrest.
All right. I'm trying to talk to you, and you're gonna hit me. I'm not under arrest. That's
You're
not
under.
how you work it.
Stop. Stop.
Dude, get off of me.
Sir. 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 Stop it. Stop. What, bro? Stop fighting.
I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to go to bed.
Put your hands behind your back.
Get off me, dude. I'm not trying to do.
Step it up, Central.
Bro, what are you trying to do? Get off me, dude. What are you, bro, what the are you doing?
Stop!
What are you?
The key turning point in the interaction occurs when Mr. Roquet fails to comply with directives to leave the premises and starts to walk away. At this point, Officer Frazier escalates the situation by using force. This includes striking him with a baton multiple times, even while Mr. Roquet is on the ground. The excessive nature of Frazier's actions is evident in the body cam footage, which shows Mr. Roquet in a defenseless position, unable to pose any significant threat.
Try to open your eyes, man.
I was trying to help you out with that. Lean your head back. When I pour it in, try to open your eyes. Don't do that because you're spitting on me.
I'm sorry, bro, but that shit burns.
The aftermath of the confrontation includes the involvement of other officers who assist in subduing Mr. Roquet. However, water pouring on his face and using force raises questions about proportionality and protocol adherence. Mr. Roquet was significantly distressed and complained about the pain from the water pouring on his face. In this case, the role of law enforcement, their reliance on force, especially the use of water that was burning Mr. Roquet's eyes, and pepper spray during the encounter, appears disproportionate given the circumstances. While the individual's actions warranted intervention, his intoxicated state and lack of immediate threat should have prompted a more measured approach. Greater emphasis on de-escalation techniques and more transparent communication could have mitigated the need for such force. Athens-Clarke County Police condemned Frazier's conduct, stating it was inappropriate and did not align with the department's protocols or standards. A lawsuit was filed against the county, which suggested that it failed to discipline, retrain, or fire the police officer. The attorneys representing Mr. Roquet highlighted the fact that their client was unarmed and posed no significant threat to the officers or the public. Mr. Roquet told the investigative team that he went to the hospital after coming back from jail and found that he had a concussion and a swollen ear. Officer Frazier was charged with felony aggravated assault and was later fired. Witness reports and additional video evidence were examined as part of the investigation. Frazier's termination and criminal charge highlight the importance of accountability in law enforcement, as the community and legal experts continue to scrutinize the circumstances surrounding the incident. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter